for Halloween? Yours. I would like to be yours. But I guess I'll sit up like a sexy alien or something.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see the response from the woman who said that normal women can't find normal men, that men don't want normal women but rather a fantasy. We want to invite you to smash that like button and help us reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year and get our first plaque. That's the only support we ask from you, man. Add your grain of sand to the movement. Leave your experience in the comments for any man who needs it. And without further ado, let's get started.
What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date? Because these guys don't want a real woman. They want a fantasy. They want to live in this fake fantasy world. They would rather jack off to some screen, to some robot, rather than actually deal with a real human being and what comes with that. You know why? Because it's easier. And I am done. I'm done.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
How many times have I told you that women don't marry for love, but for a lifestyle? If you're a man who can't provide that lifestyle, then you're invisible to women. It's not that a normal girl can't find a man. It's that the average guy is invisible to the modern woman. So, it's not that men want to be alone. It's that men have understood the rules of the game. They know that to win a woman's heart, they have to start meeting her demands because it's you who are living in a fantasy where your standards in a man eliminate almost 80% of average men.
So I got over 3,000 comments that I can't respond to, but here's my response video. And I can be a nice person, don't get me wrong, but y'all are really provoking me. And go ahead. You're not gonna get a nice side of me if you want to provoke me. And I will check you. So you want to leave some nasty comments? Get ready to get checked. Let's take a poll for all you guys that say I'm wrong and the good guy, he's in the friend zone and we don't know what we're talking about. It's all this feminist crap. You know, women want equality. It's our fault though. Let's take a poll. Which, by the way, you guys have had thousands of years to get it together. So I don't think it's our fault. If you guys could have done something better, you would have by now. Let's take a poll and see how many guys out here are actually dateable. How many of you work out? You go to the gym, you take care of yourself and what you eat. How many of you are fat slobs? Any of those? You're not an option. How many of you guys jack off to porn? Women don't like that. So we're not gonna be cool with that. So you're not an option either. How many of you live at home with your mommy, or you have an extremely unhealthy relationship with your mommy where she tells you what to do, she wipes your nose and wipes your tears, cooks for you, cleans for you. You don't know how to do anything for yourself because you're a giant child. How many? Be honest. Don't lie, because I will call you out. How many of you are getting drunk and high every weekend? Partying it up, YOLO. Acting like there is no afterlife and judgment day. Because you will come to face God one day. It's not YOLO. How many of you are reading the Bible and actually doing what it says? Not pretending to be a Christian man. A good Christian man. Yeah, we know what you're up to. How many of you on your wish list is ass and tits? You want double D's, you don't care about morals. You don't want to deal with emotions. You want a robot. You want a sex robot. You'll be the first one in line for the robot girlfriend. That's you. How many of you are hiding behind a computer every day and playing video games for hours? And you don't approach women? How many? How many of you are gay and you've completely given up on women entirely, either because you hate women or you had a really traumatic experience where you were sexualized at a young age as a man? You're right. We don't need you. I never said that we don't want you. I never said to give up on love either. I still have hope, but will I take these red flags? No, I will walk away at the first red flag, and so will a lot of women. You have to do better. Stop blaming us. We're tired of the internet gurus talking about what women should be doing better. No! You're the leaders. You do better. Grow up. And get ready to get called out. If you want to leave a comment on my page, I don't need your support. I'm not doing this for likes. I'm not doing this for money.
Many men live with their parents because the economy doesn't allow some to move out at 18. Others because they are paying off loans and student debt. But if we don't consider that, there are more women living with their parents than men. Another thing is adult content, which, although I recommend men to quit, affects both women and men, as more than 30% of women currently consume it, and almost 80% of those who work in it are women. Secondly, you don't like an overweight, out-of-shape man. It's true that every man should take care of his body, but this double standard can't be applied to women as well, because no one desires a fat woman. But for this, we're labeled misogynists. Another thing is when a man does put in the effort and meets your list of requirements, what do you bring to the table? Because everyone wants a leader, but offers nothing in return. Don't tell me it's your presence worn down by the years that other men have already enjoyed. It's easy to complain about the loser man, but I assure you that a man who has it all can be with a woman who has nothing. However, a wealthy woman would not lower her standards to be with a man who has nothing, even if he's not overweight or lazy. So where is your so-called equality?
Oh, and by the way, we aren't asking for perfection. We're asking for literally the bare minimum. Could you try that? The bare minimum? And you do need women, by the way. Men actually need women. Because, fact check, women birth life into this earth. We raised you. We raised all of you. Men out here who want to disrespect and objectify us. So look at your mom, look at your sister, look at any women that you have in your family. When you're disrespecting women, you're disrespecting them too. And guess what? Keep it up. There won't be any women left to raise you and wipe your tears and take care of you. Because we're going to be so fed up and angry with men. You want to know why men get used by women? Well, first of all, we were property for thousands of years, so we literally weren't able to collect money or own anything up until the past century. So now that we are trying to get money and establish ourselves, we're told by men that all you want is sex. So we're abused until the point where we just give up and say, okay, you want to use us? We'll use you right back. So yeah, no one is to blame other than you men. Stop. If you really feel that strongly about it, then stop supporting it. Stop going to strip clubs. Stop watching it. Stop listening to nasty, nasty content. Because it's disrespectful. And men out here don't have empathy to raise children. So you guys really think you can do this without us? Go ahead, give it a try. See, you want to see how bad stuff can really get? God said to have respect for women and to treat us as equals, as equal counterparts. We are your equal and opposite. But if you don't want to listen, then keep it up. You'll see how bad it gets. It can become hell on earth if you really want it to. If that's where you want it to go. And, you will face God on Judgment Day.
In the past, when couples got married, it was a man and a woman who both had to start from the bottom. The woman could work or not, but she contributed to helping the man in her own way. Nowadays, women want the winning man. They don't want to be the woman of the process. They want to be the woman waiting at the finish line for the man who has built himself up. When you judge me for not having tangible things, you are not being fair because a man needs to bring things to the table to be visible. It's often said that only children, animals, and women receive unconditional love. Men are loved for what they can provide. For over 100 years, men haven't changed what they want in a woman: beauty, fertility, loyalty, and acts of service. On the other hand, what women claim to be the minimum is a man who has the 666 of the apocalypse and more. 6 feet tall, earning more than $6,000, and having a physical appearance of at least a 6. By choosing this, almost 80% of men are eliminated. Add to that, after marrying her and having to support her, you also have to do household chores. Otherwise, you're an oppressive misogynist. So tell me how this is wanting the minimum when only 20% of men can qualify.
Was Jesus the first feminist? Hear me out on this one. Before Jesus came to the earth, women were basically slaves to men. We were concubines, so on and so forth. By the time Jesus had come to the earth, women were not allowed in synagogues. We were not allowed in any holy places or even allowed to hear anything about the word as it was, or practice it in any way. And when Jesus started preaching, women were actually afraid to listen to him. They were afraid of what their husbands would do, and they asked Jesus about this. They said, "Aren't men supposed to have authority, over us?" And Jesus basically told them that they should be listening and to ignore their husbands and to listen to the word because he was going to protect them. And he also told women to speak the word, to preach the word. And after Jesus left the earth, the church tried once again to erase women entirely from the Bible. They erased all of women's roles. They erased Jesus's actual life from the Bible. I mean, isn't that what the Bible's supposed to be about? Is Jesus at the end of this? And yeah, they just tried to completely diminish women's role and still keep us out of the church and out of any position of authority. Now, I get that people associate the word feminist with like the liberal green hair, this and that. That's not what feminism is. Feminism, in its definition, is that women are equal to men, which is what God says, that all of his children are equals. It doesn't mean that we can do everything that you guys can do. It doesn't mean that we're as strong and as powerful as you. But God did not give you your strength and authority to abuse and exploit women. And I believe that when Jesus comes back to this earth, he will rightfully set women back in our place as equals. And that is the only way we will ever have harmony on this earth, is when women are treated as equals in a society and respected and honored and loved. If that happened, it would completely change our society. What do you guys think?
Oh my God!
And now I understand when Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they are doing." When you use the Bible for your narrative, it's not right because the Bible speaks of the traditional woman, not the liberal one. Here are some verses. "An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. Wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head and Savior of the church, which is his body. As the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." What in what I just said defends feminism? Because if not, then all men are wrong.
Hey guys, I just wanted to touch on something quickly. I am not on here to bash men in any way. I believe that men and women should come together in a holy union, and we are both equally important on this earth. And real quick here, there's also a lot of women that feed into the inequality between the sexes. Modern day feminism, I think, is completely misunderstood and has been twisted into something dark and evil. Modern day feminism tells women that Do whatever you want with your body. That's female empowerment. Yeah, instead of letting a guy pimp you out, pimp yourself out on stage. And OnlyFans can be your pimp now. You feminists who are following this movement of let's just be as sexual and raunchy and nasty as men, you are doing the literal exact opposite of what feminism is supposed to be. We are not objects. So you telling a man, you can pay me to have my body, you can pay me to use my body and to see my body, is a form of prostitution. And you are objectifying and dehumanizing yourself. The sex industry, sex work, it is not female empowering. It ends in illness, disease, abuse, trafficking, abortion, rape. These are the real consequences. And even if you're online doing it, and you're never really actually being face to face with men, that is still telling men that we are up for sale. So this is not feminism, you guys. Everything that you think about feminism is completely wrong, and I understand why some people don't want to say that they support it or align themselves. But the truth is, if you don't believe in feminism, then you really don't believe in the equality of humans and that we are all equal in the eyes of God. And I feel really, really sad for that. That even some women don't like to call themselves a feminist because they obviously don't understand what it really means.
Finally, there's something we can agree on. The purple-haired movement no longer represents what it once did. Today, it's just a movement driven by big corporations to make women more empowered and lonely, because the lonely woman is the #1 consumer of almost all products. Telling a woman to go down the path of being strong and independent will only push her away from having a family and turn her into an addict of consumerism. As a man, I always support the traditional family, but women also need to change. Above all, the state must change with regard to men, like divorce laws, mandatory paternity tests, child support and visitation laws, and alimony. Improving the conditions of no-fault divorce is crucial, because paying a woman for breaking her marriage vows leads to women initiating 80% of divorces. I'm not saying there aren't bad men, but blaming all men when women leave sometimes for reasons as stupid as being bored is what drives men away from dating. More and more women hit the wall every day because we all know the wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Do you think she's right and men have become lazy, not striving to improve? Give me your primary reason why starting a family for both sexes is becoming so complicated. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.